Hey guys, CB from CJB Studios here, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made my birthday card for Ringo Starr, because today is his 83rd birthday. Now, before we get started, I do want to make it clear that I duplicated the project specifically for this video, because I'm going to show you guys when this project was originally created. So I'm going to go up to the file, the project's file information right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So as you can see, it was created on July 5th, 2023 at 10:07 a.m. and it was actually completed by 5:24 p.m. I know I said 5:22 at that time, at the point when I was making the post about it, but I felt the need to double check. So again, like I said, this is the finished project here. Let me get out of this, because again, I duplicated the project specifically for this tutorial because I don't want to do any edits to this one. So I'm going to exit out of this here. And as you can see right now, since this is the duplicated project, we just have a blank white canvas. So to start things off with here, I'm going to open up the layers panel, and I'm going to click this icon, and as you can see, this is the rectangle. So now, this is the star, the gradient star. I don't think a lot of you guys, I don't think a lot of people figured this out, but this entire card is to some extent modeled after one of the All-Star Band's albums. Similar to how the Beatles birthday card that I made for Los Garcia was modeled after the Yellow Submarine songtrack cover, and the Elton John card to some extent was modeled after the Diamonds album cover. So it's kind of the same thing with this one. Anyways, here are the album layers here, as you can see. And speaking of Elton John, I do want to point out that some of these albums are going to go slightly out of order. Again, not the layers themselves, like not the layers in the panel. More specifically, just the albums within the layers. And the reason is because I felt it would be nice to do them in chronological order, just like the Elton John one. So as you can see right there, like that one should have been next, but it's moved over slightly. Same with that one. And while on the topic of that, I do want to make it clear here that there are 33 albums from what I saw on the Beatles Bible website, which is actually where I got these albums to begin with, because when I was on Ringo Starr's official website, some of these albums were actually on there, but they weren't, like, you know, clickable, where you could like you could click each album and it would list out, you know, the name of it and when it was released and all that kind of stuff. So the only other alternative I went with was from the Beatles Bible website. And given that there are 33 of them, 21 of them being studio albums, and let me see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's like 12, I think. 12 of them were live albums. So yeah, just figured I'd kind of point that out. All right. So yeah, as you can see right here, since there are 33 albums there, they're not all forming a full frame like any of my other birthday cards with, you know, albums and stuff have. So I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do with, you know, how I was gonna lay this out. So that's why I just went with, you know, I'll just move some of the albums over there so it looks sort of like a frame, but not really. So, yeah. Alright, so now, here come the text layers. So, as you can see, I used the Swing Bold font for this because that was the closest font that I could use when I was thinking of making a logo for Lisette to look like Ringo Starr. And since this font was, well, similar to how, like, the point I'm trying to make with this is that, since Ringo Starr had a lot of, like, different logo designs, because, you know, whenever you're in a band or whatever, your logo will always change throughout time, or whatever, so I figured I would just find a font that looked like one of them on one of the Ringo Starr All-Star Band albums. And this one was actually, the closest to it. And funnily enough, I think that's actually, I think this album cover here, the yellow one, I think that's actually how I was able to find this font anyway. And, alright. So as you can see, this is Ringo's first name, but you'll notice the dot in the lowercase I is gone. And that's because I erased it. You'll see why in a minute or two. What did I, oh yeah, right there. See, that was a star that I put in there, because I thought it would be kind of fun to, sort of recreate the logo to kind of make it look like that. And because when I was making the logo for Lisette in this font, I obviously could not, I mean, it would have been easy to actually, you know, black out the dot and put a star in there, but the star wasn't, you know, it was a little too big to kind of fit over it. And honestly, like, even at like 20% in size in Filmmaker Pro, it just wouldn't work. So yeah. And there's his other name there. If you guys are wondering how I was able to get the text to look like this, I just, I'm trying to remember. I think I rotated the text first and then used a warp effect to kind of recreate that look. Now these last couple of parts here are, wait a minute. Did I miss something? Let me see. I feel like there was one layer I forgot to unhide. I don't know. Anyways, these next couple of parts here are with Ringo himself. And originally, I was going to use, like, just an image of Ringo in front of a background and kind of mask it in front of this big star. But it didn't look good because I was actually trying to recreate that album cover over there. Let me zoom in. It's this one right there. I wanted to recreate that. So I decided to actually look for rendered images of Ringo, and I came across one on Pinterest. And as you can see, I actually had to duplicate the picture 2 times. So here's the first layer, which is actually just, well, Ringo's head. And I don't know if you can see it there, but right next to that image is a rectangle. And that's because I did the layering mask option on that. Because I knew if I was going to recreate this look, I had to copy the picture twice. So that's why you see part of his head. And then here's the second layer, which was masked by the star. So I'm going to hide this layer real quick. And as you can see, part of his head is gone because it's masked into the star. But if you unhide this layer, it actually kind of blends in with it, I guess. So yeah, and the way to give it that kind of black and white comic book filtery look, just like it is on this cover, I just used another gradient overlay and just made it black and white. So yeah. And the last thing here is this rectangle, and then peace and love right there. So yeah, that was how I made my birthday card for Ringo Starr in honor of celebrating his 83rd birthday. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like on it, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. You guys know the drill since I keep saying it so many times. Thank you all so much for watching, and Ringo, if you're watching this, and I actually kind of doubt that you are, please let me know what you think of this, because you truly are a, well, star, and you will always be remembered as the best drummer of the Beatles. I bet none of you will be able to figure that out. I don't know why. I just thought I was just trying to be funny. I don't think it worked out though. But yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy birthday to Ringo Starr. CB from CJB Studios signing off. Peace and love. And I will see you all next time.